Destiny 2 Wardcliff Coil Weapon Review. Anyway, this is the Wardcliff Coil, aka the Dubious Volley, aka, well, an old weapon that's supposed to be in the Taken King, but then they deleted it as soon as the Taken King launched, and instead they put it in Destiny 2. Long story short. And, I'd say this gun is fun and also pretty useful at the same time. And I'd say, well, it's actually pretty good at damage, even though there's a few instances here and there when the thing doesn't even do anything, aka you're using the weapon wrong. One being the fact that you're shooting an airship 1,000 miles away, a huge barrage that has a very close-up lock-on. It's not really gonna do much at all. Like, maybe if you're close enough, like when you're doing that one public event on IO where you have to shoot down the ship and a fusion rifle can reach it, yeah, it's gonna be good. Like, whatever fusion rifles can hit, this thing can hit even harder. And I'd say it's up there with the good old Merciless when it comes to exotic heavies and overall DPS. Like, it's Merciless, Cold Heart, Wardcliff. And anyway, the perks on this first one, Mad Scientist, the intrinsic perk. This weapon fires a huge volley of rockets. Well, not really too big, but hey, still big enough to do something. Then you have volatile launch, more blast radius, better handling, better projectile speed, which is already pretty high up there. Then you have extended mag, which is better greatly magazine, which doesn't really make sense because it only holds one round, unless that's for ammo reserves. I don't know why they put that there. Then you have mechanized autoloader trait, which this weapon automatically reloads ammo on pickup, well, as long as you actually have the weapon in your hand. So if you see a brick and walk over it while you have your primary weapon, you're still gonna have to reload this thing, which takes some time. Unless you're a hunter or titan. But yeah, if you actually have this weapon out in your hands and run over that brick of ammo, well, boom, you get yourself a rocket in the chamber ready to fire. And I'd say that's pretty useful when it comes to that glimmer extraction public event, since there's absolutely an absolute ton of good old power ammo when you take down all those orange bars when you turn it into a heroic. It's a lot of heavy. Then you have composite stock, which doesn't really do much other than stability and handling, like all the others almost do. And I'd say the stats of this thing are pretty good. The blast radius is okay, and the blast radius of each individual rocket that this thing shoots is actually pretty good. The only downside is that if one of these rockets happens to hit the floor, or a wall, or a friendly, or a Titan shield, or a Dom bubble, if it hits any of that, or an enemy that's too close to you, well, you will blow up with it. And I'd say that's kind of obvious because, well, we veteran players have already tested out the Yellowhorn back then, and just about the same story happened. The only thing is that it was a lot better and a lot more consistent at damaging than this thing. I wouldn't really compare this to Yellowhorn. I would say this is a more practical version of just a fun gun to use. You can use it in patrols, you can use it in strikes, you can use it in good old public events. I'm not sure if it would be good in raids and nightfalls, but might as well. And I'd say it's definitely funny, especially when you have a high value target and you have to knock them, accidentally knock them off the map via shooting a huge volley of this thing, catapulting them into the air. I know that it won't damage them a lot when it does that, or even miss and whatnot, but hey, it's all for the laughs when it comes to here, because when it comes to Destiny and its weapons and supers and whatnot, well, at least Destiny 2, Destiny 1 is a completely different story. When it comes to Destiny 2, the old weapons that you used to rely on back then, aka your high impact sniper, your super Fatebringer hand cannon, and your good old Yellowhorn, they're gone. No more crutches. It's just good old fun guns to use. Well, anyway, smack that like button, hit the sub, drop the comment, and I'll see you guys later for another video on the channel. I'm out.